Off the bat, we want to talk about a big local story which is developing as we speak here tonight. Y'all might remember over the last several weeks we've covered some of the community reaction and response, and even some of the criminal developments in the case of Gabriel Ennis, who's a 16-year-old local junior firefighter who was killed back in June in a shooting. Well, tonight we're learning about new efforts to honor his legacy and also help out the community. I want to join now with our Tradicia Woodard, who's joining us here in the Live Impact News studio. So Tradicia, you're speaking with Gabriel's family tonight, talking about ways that they are trying to basically have his legacy live on in a positive way.
Yeah, so Vanessa, it's a really tough time. You know, we do stories like this all the time where families are dreadfully impacted because they lost their loved one, and they talk about, you know, grief and whether or not time heals. So for this family to actually take that grief and try to turn it into a mission, turn it into something positive, something that's hopeful, I thought it was really, really unique. They said that Gabriel had a big heart and he was all about giving, 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 and he loved children. So after the funeral, his sister came up with this great idea saying, okay, moving forward, I want to find a way to honor my brother. I don't want to be mad at the 17-year-old that's behind bars. I don't want to be grieving, and it's heavy. Mm-hmm. So she wanted to turn it into something positive. So now they're doing this school drive, and they're raising money, and they're giving back to kids ahead of the new school year.
That's really great to hear. I mean, we've covered this story at length. You mentioned the fact that there is another teen who is in trouble with the law now for alleged, involvement with the shooting death. That person they've been charged with first-degree murder in this case. That is really, disheartening to hear, the fact that you have someone so young. I mean, did his family comment on that fact?
Yeah, they actually did. That court date is set for August 14th, and one of the things that his sister said was, even though my brother is buried, obviously, this kid lost his life too. So there is two losses here in this incident. And she just talked about obviously getting justice for her brother, but trying to once again turn this into something positive. It's better for their mental as well.
Yeah. We've talked before too, with the family as they've shared more about, who Gabriel was. He was 16. He was a junior firefighter. He was with Cordova Fire and Rescue. Clearly someone who had a heart for the community if he was already serving, at that young age. What did they tell us about, Gabriel as a person and how this school drive will align with who he was?
Yeah, one of the things they echoed the most is that he loved children and that he had a big heart. They say there wasn't a stranger that he met. So everybody who knew him loved him, his connection with kids, specifically vulnerable kids with special needs. So they wanted to give something special, a contribution through Gabriel, is what they say. That's how they're keeping their name alive. So they're hoping as they gather these supplies, it's somehow a piece of Gabriel going to school with them for the first time too. So they're doing it through the next generation.
How did they say that folks can get involved? What do they need?
Yeah. So any school supplies, maybe you want to get involved, or maybe you're just a parent in need of school supplies. We're going to have on our website the address when the incident is, when the school drive is taking place. We're going to have the address, and then we're also going to have the address where folks can drop off some school donations: pencils, pens, papers, book bags, notebooks, anything. They are accepting it all.
Well, is it safe to say that this would be remaining in the community of Richmond County? Or
Absolutely.
Because he went to the senior high there, right?
Yeah. They talked about how there's a super big need, especially with the amount of vulnerable kids who are in need of school supplies as school prepares to ramp back up. So they are hoping to really just pour back into their community, specifically for kids who need it the most.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing the story and also learning more about how folks can help out. You'll be putting this together for our 11 o'clock newscast tonight?
That's right.
All right. Tradicia Woodard, thank you so much.